Hiya, anime fan! As you know, Sailor Moon Crystal is back, with one of the most popular arcs in the entire Sailor Moon series, the Heart Snatcher or Deathbuster arc. Now, for this one, I'm going to be trying something just a little bit different from my normal review style. Because of Sailor Moon Crystal's format of not really telling individual stories with this episode and more or less a continuous, basically one big long episode, I'm pretty much just going to vlog about the new episodes as they come out, and then once the arc wraps, I'll come out with a full review giving my entire opinion on the whole thing, all at once. So, that being said, how did I feel about Sailor Moon Crystal Act 27? It was pretty good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Alright, so first off, it seems like Pharaoh 90 is more of a presence in this episode. Instead of people just kind of talking about him, it seems like he's kind of going to speak for himself. He's got kind of a spooky, mysterious voice. He didn't come off kind of as screwy as the Wise Man did from Sailor Moon, the last one, the Black Moon arc. Of course, I'm pretty sure by the end he's just going to look like the same killer smoke cloud that they always end up fighting. But anyway, Sailor Moon Crystal, this new arc, also has a brand new shiny opening. And I kind of have mixed opinions about it. The opening's all-new animation is very pretty, and it shows off all the scouts, including the Outer Senshi. But it's just to this boring, really stereotypical-sounding magical girl anime theme song. Frankly, I really liked the Moon Pride opening. It was cool, it was upbeat, fun, exciting, and it was distinctive to Sailor Moon. This new thing, this could really headline any magical girl thing, or hell, any shoujo anime, really. Now, just like in the original Heart Snatchers arc, there's this sort of persistent sense of doom hanging over the Sailor Scouts. This is done with these sort of dream visions, and these ominous warnings of impending cataclysm, doom. Time to sing the doom song, doom it. No, I'm kidding, I'm not going to do that. And they don't mess up in the exact same way that the original Deathbusters arc kind of messed up their prophecy of doom, but they still kind of mess it up. Now, to a certain extent, it could be me because I know what happens, but just follow me on this. The big scary doomy thing is big and scary in part because we don't really know what it is. And they're actually doing a good job keeping it mysterious. But we do know that there's an enemy faction, and they are turning people into monsters. So they are giving us maybe just a bit too much, but it is better than the original anime's sort of build up to Pharaoh 90 and the Deathbusters. Alright, now let's talk about the new kids on the block, the Outer Senshi. Specifically Neptune and Uranus, although Saturn is in here, but in a very small way. Alright, I'm gonna be completely honest, I have never really liked these two. They've always just had some hard to describe sort of problem. I think it's the fact that they're aloof. They're not like team players. Now, Pluto doesn't really have this problem because she is willing to jump in there and help out the scouts whenever she's needed. Whereas Uranus and Neptune, I know they have their own reasons for kind of staying apart, but they don't really look good when they do it. To use a relevant example, Batman can be this sort of grim, aloof dude. Because we sort of know, we get the sense of the personal tragedy that informs on what he does. Whereas Uranus and Neptune, they need to give us more on them before we can really get why they choose to separate themselves to the extent that they do from the other Sailor Scouts. Alright, now to compare the introduction of Uranus and Neptune to the original anime, I have to say the original anime does it better. They're mysterious for the first couple of episodes, and it's really cool to see them show up for the first time. They also do a better job, at least so far in the original anime, of making sure that Uranus and Neptune are the good guys, you know? They intervene to help out the scouts, again, when they're needed, and it's sort of at their own discretion when they do this. But maybe that'll change as we go along. Alright, now let's talk about the actual action. First off, monster design. The original Sailor Moon Yoma were really silly. I mean, like, freaking ridiculous. These new Yoma are quite a bit more intimidating, but also a lot less interesting. You know, in the original Sailor Moon, they fought some of the stupidest stuff I have ever seen in an anime. But gosh darn it, it was uniquely stupid. It was just, oh hey, let's turn, like, some shoes into a monster and go have it kill the Sailor Scouts. That is some Power Rangers level thinking there. These new things look kind of like giant smoke bugs. And it's really cool seeing kind of how they infect a human host that kind of shoot out of this dark portal and, like, xenomorph jump inside someone and then hatch into the killer beastie form. And it's cool to look at. I just feel like, you know, we've gone too far in the other direction. You know, we've wanted the thing to be scary and intimidating and present a real threat. But come on, you could at least make it unique. Of course, I can't say that it's not unique until I've seen more of them, but this particular creature does have sort of a generic look to it. Alright, now, once the Sailor Scouts are ready to get into the fight, they do have all new animated, as in not CGI animated, transformation sequences, and they look really, really great. I mean, of course they're too long. I don't really feel the need to see them again every episode, because they take like a minute to get into the fight. And it's time-lapse, that's not what's actually happening, and it's kind of dumb, but it looks cool. And that's really all that matters. Their attack animations were actually individual animations. They didn't, like, can things the way they do sometimes. They might do that later, but for now, for this first fight, they actually do, like, individual attack actions. Like Sailor Mars tries to use her seals or whatever they are to try and contain the thing. Doesn't work, but still, good thinking. Then Sailor Venus and Sailor Jupiter do, like, a combined attack action, which is really cool. I love teamwork in these kind of shows. And Sailor Mercury gets to use her Google glasses. Alright, finally, I dig the fact that the Sailor Scouts are a little bit smarter this time around. So they saw some news reports where the students from Mugen Academy are the ones turning into monsters. And they figure out, okay, we've seen two separate students turn into monsters. They both went to Mugen Academy. Maybe we should go and check the place out. Maybe something's fishy there. So, good thinking, ladies. Alright, now, if I was going to give this episode a score, and I will, I'm going to give this a solid 4 out of 5. You know, there's maybe a little too much talking. I don't think the introduction of Uranus and Neptune is as good as it could have been, but on the whole, a very strong way to start this new arc in the Sailor Moon Crystal saga. Alright, thank you for watching, and if you're interested in more reviews of anime, movies, TV shows, comic books, and video games, check out my channel on YouTube at StupidPrivate913, or find my Facebook and Deviantart pages for video updates and more.
Hey kids, today's show is brought to you by the letter 4 and the number potato! I'm a stupid private.